Hey, Trey. It's nice to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, I know we're going over on the show today because it's so important. This is such a great special for us to be here. It's a special time for us on the show, but you get to experience it all the time. Tell us a bit about your role at Pacific Northwest Ballet.
Sure. My role at Pacific Northwest Ballet is the director of company operations. So I handle the daily operations of the dancers. I handle all the contracting for the works that we do, like the ALL THARP. And I'm also the touring manager for the company. And we're going on two big tours this summer, one to New York City and one to LA.
Wow. I mean, here I was thinking that Pacific Northwest Ballet was just here. So the fact that you guys are doing these kind of tours, tell us a little bit more about that. How do these tours come about and what type of, performances are you guys going to be doing while you guys travel?
Yeah, so actually, these tours come about because we have a touring agent. Her name is Margaret Selby, and she's always got her feelers out, sort of trying to find places to present the company so that we can get our name out on the national and international stage. And so the tour to New York, we're being presented by the Joyce Theater at Lincoln Center at the David H. Koch Theater. And then for LA, we're performing at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing. Now, when you guys do these tours, do you guys pull together different pieces that you guys have done here? Is it new performances? How do you guys pull together the show?
Yeah, so it's actually works that we do here that are part of our rep, and we're actually taking the THARP with us, waiting at the station. So it'll be on both tours this summer. So the whole country will get to experience some THARP.
Oh, well, now that just brings me to my next question because, of course, we're here to talk about, as I said, all things all THARP. But really, this is something that is a collaboration of Twyla Tharp's works, right? Like, this is a combination of the things that, she brought. Tell us a bit about the history of this show.
Yeah, so this is a triptych of THARP works, and each of them is really different. So we have Brief Fling, which is sort of Twyla's take on classical ballet. And then we have Sweet Fields, which is really a piece about community and really shows the humanness of connection. And then we have Waiting at the Station, which is really like a self-contained Broadway piece. I mean,
Mm.
Twyla is just amazing. I mean, she's a director, she's a choreographer, she's a producer. And so I think with these three works, you really get to see the span of her talent.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, I'm just already. I've heard so much about this, and I was just saying to you, I'm trying to find a way to make it work with my schedule because I really appreciate all of the works coming out of Pacific Northwest
Mhm.
Ballet. But I'm just now becoming a fan, right? Like
Yeah.
I was just talking about the amazing Swan Lake, right? I was here for that, and it just blew me away, right? I think it just took me to another level. But also, I got to see the depth of Romeo and Juliet, and I got to experience the fun of other shows you guys have had. And so tell us a bit about what you want the audience to take away when they come to see All Tharp.
Right. So when you come to see All THARP, I mean, it really is a human experience, right? THARP has a real way of connecting with people. And I think that sometimes there's a disconnect between ballet and the public. People think of ballet in one specific way. But as you said, there's a real range of works that you can really connect with. You can really get deep with the classical ballets like Swan Lake, like Romeo and Juliet. But then you also have these opportunities to have these really relatable works that you can really sort of tap your feet to and move your body to and really have that kind of experience. So when you come to All THARP, it's really just it's really like a party, you know? It's
Mm.
really a place where you can enjoy yourself and like feel like you understand what's going on stage. There's really something for everyone in part of this program.
What I really appreciate about, our partnership with Pacific Northwest Ballet here for Converge Media is that we get to really kind of break the monotony of thought around ballet.
Yeah.
And, for Black community, it's like, no,
Mhm.
this space is for you as well. And I think sometimes there has to be a greater level of intentionality to market to our community in the Black community so they know to come. I mean, you are here, talking about your amazing role. Clearly, there is some diversity that is happening that just needs to be more spotlighted.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about how you've experienced that level of intentionality from P&B around diversifying not only the company but also all the operations behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, so at PNB right now, we're doing a real push with our IDEA work. I was a dancer in the company 15 years ago, and from where we were then to where we are now, I mean, it's a huge difference. I mean, we are here. We do have Black dancers. I mean, and we are really working on representing new stories, diverse stories, representing underrepresented voices. And so there really is something for everyone. And I think that it's sort of a misrepresentation in our community that ballet is not for us, but it really is for us. It's for all of us. And you will see yourself on that stage. And I think that that's so important, that representation. And PMB is really taking a big forward stance and really making sure that we show that representation on our stage and with the works that we're bringing in.
Well, also, I think your story is really important too, because, young folks out there that may want to be a dancer, the idea is that there are so many other ways to still be engaged and involved in the company outside of dance, right? Like what you've done. Tell us a bit about that, because as you like exited as a dancer, did you ever see yourself on this side of the coin here, to be making sure that all of the things are happening still on the other side?
Yeah, I actually never envisioned myself in this place. When I retired dancing, I actually joined the faculty of our school and I taught a lot of students. And I thought that was really important. It's really important to see someone in the front of the room who looks like you, someone who you can relate to. And so that is what my sort of goal was in becoming a teacher. And then when this job opened up, I actually graduated from Seattle University with a degree in nonprofit leadership, which Pacific Northwest Ballet helped me achieve. And so, I mean, I felt like it was my duty to sort of give back and also to represent on the leadership side of Pacific Northwest Ballet, because then I can help inform, what we bring in, what kind of artists we do, and really just help our organization move forward.
Yeah, this is important. And I think so many of us need to hear that story more. We need to also understand when we have that peek behind the curtain. I'm always talking about it because I think that that's one of the things that I appreciate so much about, my show here on Converge Media, is that I get the opportunity to sit down with someone like you and actually have this kind of conversation for our audience to understand the nuances and the dynamic. For me as a young person in theater, and a lot of people say this, oftentimes I was the only one, right? I mean, I remember going up for a role and it was a lead role, and they're like, look, this is really for like a young white girl. We're going to have to dye your hair red, raise your hand if you don't want your hair dyed red. And I'm like, oh no, my parents aren't going for that, right? Like, I'm not doing it. Somehow I still got the role. And they're like, don't worry, we're just going to do this temporary thing for your hair. And it worked out. But see, if I wasn't there, they wouldn't have even been pressed to do something different, to find a way to be inclusive like that.
That's
I
right.
think also too, there's something to be said about those of us who are like, what, even if I am the only one, I gotta be the one to start breaking the mold and creating new pathways and opportunities for folks who look like me to enter in. So I really appreciate hearing you say that, you went into teaching, because you're so right about that. Tell us about some of the inspiration that you gave to students as a teacher that probably informs your work to this day.
So, one of my biggest philosophies is creating an experience that was unlike mine. I was the only one, for a while when I was dancing here at Pacific Northwest Ballet. And now to look at the company now and to see all the diversity that we have, and I look into the studio and I see there are so many people who look like me in that studio. And, that was just over a short period of time that, we've gone from a place where it was only me to now there's so much diversity within our company. And so that makes me feel really good about the progress that we're making. We still have work to do, and we're making sure that we work on that. But it's just wonderful to see Trae.
Yeah. And I appreciate you for sharing your story so that people out there can understand that, there's a place for them here, whether it is in the company, whether it's behind the scenes in teaching roles. The idea is that, somebody could take their skill set as a dancer and move forward into teaching, moving forward into operations. I think is also really inspiring, because there's a misnomer where it's like a dancer's life is a short life, right? I mean, I know you've heard that before, where it's like, you age out almost, right? And like your body only can do so much. So you really are a shining example of how to continue that career and carry it forward.
That's right. Dancing, a dance education teaches you so many transferable skills. It teaches you, organization. It teaches you how to show up, and so I think that it's not just about being a dancer, but it's about all the other skills, discipline, all of those things that help you as a person. It's
Mhm.
not just about dancing. And so I think that, people think about, dancing is just sort of an extracurricular activity or something you do on the side, but really it helps you in so many different facets of your life.
I have a child who's been playing like basketball since second grade, right?
Mhm.
AAU ball. And I feel the same in about athletics, right?
Mhm.
There's like these carried values really that really center you in your life as a young person and then all the way through your adulthood, because you learn these skills about the importance of teamwork and understanding that you don't have to be in the forefront, and understanding that discipline and that work ethic. So I agree with you there, and I love that you pull that out because it's very similar with dance. But you just mentioned something a while back about how PNB also helped you get your degree. Just tell us a bit about that, because I think a lot of people don't know that there is this amazing opportunity for dancers to, okay, maybe you're done with dance, but let's help you in the next leg of your life. Tell us a bit about that program.
That's right. So at PNB, we have a program called Second Stage, and it's a program to help dancers make that transition out of dance and into their second careers. We've partnered with Seattle University, so you can either, take classes and get credits towards a college degree, or you can sort of take out money from this pool of money to work on other things. We have dancers who become lawyers, dancers who've opened their own businesses and gone on to other things. And so it really is a way to prepare you, because as you said, you can't dance forever, and you have to be thinking about what is my next step, and to have an organization support you in that way and to provide resources for you to be able to do that is wonderful.
It really is. And I gotta say this because I think again for me, we have to break some of the ideas out there, right? And we know that capitalism is huge here in America, and the idea that there's a lot of extractive nature of practice of business. I think a lot of people identify with certain industries, right? And it's like, oh, they'll use you up until they can't use you no
Right.
more,
Right.
right? Type of thing. But PNB is very intentional to be like, no, we understand that life carries on for our dancers, and how can we be very specific about being a support factor to them in that way. And when I first heard about
Second
second
Stage.
stage, when I first heard about it,
Mhm.
because I was reading it in the program, and then the dancers came out and they were talking about it like, hey, when you give funds, these are some of the ways that your funds are used. It's not just for the building or for productions.
That's right.
There's so much more going on behind the scenes about why your funds are going to all of these amazing programs that are helping people.
That's right.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Well, Kion, I'm so grateful. All Tharp has, more shows. Tell us a bit about it, because I know it's going to be wrapping up soon, but we want to get people out here to this show.
Yeah, sure. We have 3 more performances this weekend for All Tharp: tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday. And you can buy tickets at www.pmb.org.
Oh, Kion, I really appreciate you for being with me today on The Day with Trae, and for sharing all that you have experienced here as a dancer, a teacher, and now director of company operations. Kudos to you for being able to continue in your legacy right here with PNB. And I know PNB is, all the better for it. So thank you so much. And
Great.
congrats on the tour.
Great. And thank you so much, Trae, for having me. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on all your accolades.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you guys.